Nice.
It's beautiful. Hello, Gun Nation.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Hello, Moto.
How's the sound on? Is it good?
Sounds good.
All right, good.
It says we're live, but are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Okay. All right. Hello, gentlemen. Glad to be back.
Good to have you.
Appreciate y'all holding down the fort for me.
We own the fort, buddy.
That's right, sucker.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got Mateo, Logan, Captain Phil, we got KSGun guy, Farm Freak. Let's see here. Mateo, Harry's Holsters, 7 Up, 3 Down. Craig, Jesus is God. Lock and Load Lifestyle, Mr. Nolan. PGH Fan, 97. Scab Ugly. Logan White, Knuckle 60. Gerald Walden, Suat. Sean. Let's see here. Big Daddy G. Young Guns. Music Lover. The Range 1. Paris Pat. Razor. Range Randy. And we got 1776, of course.
Yay.
Daniel God is my judge. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us. We got 22 on. That's awesome. So did y'all miss me while I was gone?
We totally did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, we didn't know what to do.
Probably had a little party.
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Not a little one, big one.
True.
Logan said he's been waiting for this all day. That's awesome. That's what we like to hear.
Thanks, Logan.
So, anything new in y'all's world, I guess I should say.
17.
Hang on, we have a question. Any of your guns out of holding 1776 from Sean?
Okay.
Boy, it's been a good day, fellas. It's like Christmas in November. There's one. There's
Hang on, you got to name them.
Oh no, I'll let people
You got to show the
guess.
names.
Let them guess. Here's 3.
Okay.
Here's 4. And here is number 5. So they're all home. I spent a little time this evening with my with this one, the M&P 2.0. Did a bunch of shit to it. Put on the Apex trigger, night sights. Pretty awesome. Pretty friggin' awesome. This is 2 months, guys, so it's not like I just bought them all at once. This has been 9 weeks, and I just finally got my little permit today to pick them up. So it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be a hell of a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good.
That is awesome. Sawat has some big news. Tomorrow he'll be picking up his PO7 Tactical, and he'll be joining the CZ Mafia.
Very good.
Well, actually, we changed it to CZ Life, but that's awesome. Congrats, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to also give a shout out to Nolan for making that that install video for this thing. It was a huge help. Without that video, I probably would have not any idea what the hell I was doing for the most part. But it was a huge help. So thank you, Nolan, for making that video.
That's awesome. Well, one of the guns on the counter, you know, the one that I was waiting for you to get. What do you think about it?
The Phantom?
Yep.
Dude, this gun is exactly what I was looking for. You know, I know a lot of people go and they wind up getting the SPO1 Tactical, or they get the PO9.
PO9.
This is the best of both worlds. You know, you're getting the traditional 75B frame, right? So you get the nice hump in the back, and it's about the same size as SPO1 Tactical, but it weighs about the same as, it actually feels like it weighs less than my Glock 17.
Nice.
It's awesome. It's friggin' awesome. I can't wait to shoot it.
The only thing that the reason why I like the PO9 better is there's a little more mass for my hands. Have you noticed how small the slide is? Like grabbing it?
Yeah, I mean it's typical though. I mean, this is your 75B.
I know.
So I would suspect the slide would be low. It rides inside the frame, but it's totally manageable.
Yeah.
You know, you can do overhand grip. You can, you know, and it's good to go. It really is pretty friggin' awesome, man. This is one hell of a gun. So I can't wait to shoot it.
Cool. Yeah, we got Viborg. We got a couple more joining. Viborg, SoCal. Let's see. Rich 4150. And let's see here. I think that's it. But yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait to. You know, the good thing is it takes us 75 mags. So
yeah, that's what I wound up doing. I wound up getting a bunch of Mechgar mags for it, and you know, because it came with the extended base plate at the bottom. But you know, because I live in, you know, communist New York, I wound up just getting some regular flat bases. And I have to tell you, man, size-wise, it's not as big as people think. That's about all the room that's left there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a full-size gun, but it does not feel like it at all. It's fantastic, fantastic gun.
Yeah, and I've put my mitts on it many times and thought about grabbing the new one, you know, not the older Phantom, but the new Series 2. And, I mean, I just really like the P09. I mean, with that Omega trigger, just me personally, and I'm not saying anything against the Phantom. I think it's a great pistol. It's just a preference thing with me.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I understand. I have no problem with the non-Omega triggers, man. I like the hook on them, so I can't complain about it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like them. So what's up with you, Mr. KS?
Well, sadly, I don't have any new firearms, so that's kind of a bummer. I'm still waiting for the only two that are on my list, and no clue when either of those two are going to arrive.
Well, you actually got back. You got back a toy.
Well, I did. I'm getting to that. Just wait. But yeah, so I'm still waiting for the Hudson and the Strike B. The Hudson, I mean, it'll be one of those things where I'll just get lucky, perhaps at some point in time. It could be a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, who knows. And then the Strike, and 17 and I were talking about this the other day. Arsenal has kind of fallen off the radar a little bit, and they haven't said anything about the Strike for you know, the past month and a half, maybe even 2 months. And so we're kind of in the dark. I think the last we heard was maybe December on that, and I don't know if that's going to actually be the case or not. And it could be an importation issue. It could be a manufacturing issue. Who knows? Who knows at all? So sadly, no new toys at this point in time. However, like Big J was saying, the P320 RX back from the mothership from Sig Sauer, and it didn't take very long. It took 8 days total, and that's including 4 days round trip shipping. So they really did turn this around pretty quickly. And I've got a video coming out on it this weekend to kind of go in more detail. I don't want to take a lot of time on this, but short and sweet is, I'm not impressed. I set myself up for failure a little bit. I really thought it was going to come back and it was going to be this glorious trigger because I like the gun. I know some people don't. I like this gun. I think it's a good gun. It's a little floppy. It's a little tall, so the bore axis is a little high, but I think it feels good in the hand. I like the gun. And I was really hoping that the trigger would come back and be some tremendous thing, and sadly it is not. And in fact, it's acting a little bit more peculiar, and one of the things I've noticed, the slide, when it returns to battery, now when I'm shooting, it doesn't do this. When I'm just handling and racking the slide myself, it will sometimes catch up just ever so slightly, and you just kind of tap it back into place. Or when you start pulling the trigger, it'll pop back into place. Again, from a firing standpoint, it hasn't been an issue. I had one malfunction in 200 rounds when I took it to the range, but I think that was the ammo. I was using Herders, and I've never used Herders before, and I've heard good and bad about Herders. And it looked like a light primer strike, so I'm not gonna ding the gun for that. But again, I'm a little disappointed. I would have liked to have seen more. So. Yeah, and so Sean is kind of saying the same thing. He said he's got his P320 back for almost 2 weeks, and it feels pretty much the same as it did before the upgrade. Sean, I would totally agree. I mean, I think that the break is that same thud that it was before. It was never very clean or crisp. I mean, it was just kind of a, you know, and then the reset is decent, but it's not. I was hoping for an improvement. It shouldn't have been, I guess.
You know, what I'm curious about is and I was saying this the other night, was, well, I don't know why Sig just didn't try to redesign the trigger. I know they kind of slimmed it down a little bit or whatever, and maybe shaped it out a little bit differently. But I don't know why they just wouldn't go with a normal trigger with a trigger safety in it, maybe flat faced, you know, just to make something that I would think more people would be in line for that than what they came out with, unless it was just a quick fix or something. But you know, I don't have my Sigs anymore. I'm glad I've gotten rid of them. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I'm not a fan of the Sigs, man. I'm just not. And there's no point in buying them because I just don't like them.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. Alan is saying that he hasn't had that experience with his, and that's good. I'm glad, and I'm hoping mine just needs to wear in a little bit. I mean, again, the slide functionality, I'm not concerned about it from a shooting perspective. I don't think it's inhibiting anything. I think it's functioning just fine. But again, as far as an exciting trigger or anything, that's not the case. And coming off that Apex trigger on the compact, holy crap, it's tough to beat that trigger. So perhaps I'm a little bit biased right now.
Who just said that?
Yeah, we got J Mike. He's new here, and he's got an HB Industries trigger for his P10C. Welcome, J Mike.
Funny you say that, J Mike, because look what I got, buddy.
I know, that's why I pointed that out, dummy.
That's pretty cool.
But I'm also welcoming him. Welcome.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a review on this trigger, but so far so good, man. It's a pretty sweet little trigger to this thing, man. I mean, the pull is really light. The reset is pretty short.
Wow.
The trigger feels even better. Feels even better than it did.
Mule Kicker says he really likes the CZ P01. He doesn't see a lot of guys talking about it after the P10. P01 will be his next. There you go, Mule Kicker. P01.
Yeah.
It is a great pistol.
My favorite.
All right, I'll hold up my P01. It's designed by a company called Glock.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Matter of fact, you know, I'll go ahead and bring it up since we got Wicked on. Hey, Wicked says he's lurking. Sorry I wasn't on last week, guys, and I'm glad these guys held down the fort. I went to the farm, Farmageddon, and it was freaking awesome. A lot of guys on here, Yankee, Koda Boy, Rich, you know, all the SoCal, all the guys were there, and it was awesome. Meeting a lot of YouTubers. There was about 20 or 25 of us there. Fantastic time. Pops is a hell of a guy. I hadn't seen him on here yet. I couldn't thank him enough. It was just a fantastic time. First time ever shooting a 50 BMG. It was incredible. Everybody was just super, super nice. Bald and Curious was there. I did shoot his Excalibur. Really, really liked it. Great pistol. Shot some of his other pistols. Also, I shot a Rhino. Have y'all ever shot a Rhino revolver?
Nope.
Hey, I shot one, and looky here. I got Rhino bite.
Nice.
So got it good. And Bald told me, he said, don't hold your thumb down on the bottom like a standard pistol. And it was sitting there with the cylinder open, started talking to someone else. I walked over about 20 minutes later and grabbed it just like a normal pistol and got a serious blast in my finger. Pretty nasty. But I'm living. Yeah, and apparently everybody from the farm now has the flu. I got my flu shot way before I went, so luckily it hadn't hit me yet, so hopefully I won't get it. But man, we had a fantastic time. SoCal cooked up some great food. We were very, very safe. Shot during the day. At night, we put all the guns up, drank, sat around, talked. Just had a fantastic time. It was a hell of a drive, 16 and a half hours. That killed me. But yeah, it was great. Had the tactical turtle loaded down. Had 28-inch shotgun, AR-15, and 13 pistols, all in that Duha tactical turtle, and they rode like a champ. So had a fabulous time.
Nice.
A lot of fun. Yeah, and you know, I shot the 50 AE Pops's Desert Eagle. That thing's a beast too. It was a lot of fun to shoot, but tell you what, there's nothing, and it had concussion too. you know, slide them out. But there is nothing like that 50 BMG. That thing, man, you would be filming somebody and your phone would just rattle when that thing went off. It was crazy. Let's see here. Do we miss any? Yeah, and Nolan's mindset. Y'all probably saw his video with his SP01. That white trash ammo is crap.
I agree.
You know, yeah, I guarantee it's not the gun and it's not the magazines. It's that damn white trash ammo. So you can trash that shit. Inside Freedom's on, and he's saying, "Hey, three amigos."
What's up, Insight?
Did y'all do any shooting this week or anything this past weekend?
Yeah, I shot the P320. Again, video coming out this weekend, so I want to make sure I had some footage. And also, I was just curious. I wanted to get a feel for it and kind of passed it around at the range. Some people just shooting, and also some folks that work there just to get their input on it. And they were as underwhelmed as I would about it. There was one guy there that was actually shooting his, and he had not done the upgrade yet. So we kind of compared them back and forth a little bit, and there really just wasn't much of a difference. Which I suppose, in the grand scheme of things, I should probably be thankful that they didn't make it worse, which is good. But anyways, and then shot the shield. I've got some new sights on that. Something will be coming out before entirely too long.
Okay. Well, like I asked you before we started, since you compared the two, now you know I've got the Apex flat face in mine, okay, and I have not done the upgrade. Do you think it's worth? And I know you had the flat face in yours before too, right? Do you think it's worth doing the upgrade versus the flat face?
Well, I didn't like the flat face in the P320. I didn't like the feel of it very much. Okay. But you know, I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You know, there is always the danger of dropping it and having it going off, although I think that danger is extraordinarily slight.
Right.
And obviously that would be under extreme circumstances. So I think upgrade at your leisure, upgrade if you really want to. If you like what you've got, you know what? I don't think you absolutely have to do it.
Okay. I just wondered if it was just, you got to do it because it's so much better. You know, no, I don't really make it a point to chunk my guns around. You know, and I've carried it, you know, since that alert came out, but you know, hey, it is what it is.
I got to say thanks to Nolan real quick. Nolan, thank you very much. Yeah, for whatever reason, Apex decided to email all their customers, and they put a link to my video in it. Of all videos, they put it to mine. I'm sure they'll regret that at some point in time. But Nolan, thank you very much for saying that. I really appreciate that, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, and there is, you know, actually 7-Up's bringing it up, and I've got a video coming out on it, but I'll go ahead and let people know real quick. We bought so much of it and ran it. Hellfire ammo, if you can see this, there's the 1,000-round box right there. There's another 1,000-round box. So I bought 2,000 rounds of it, and I've probably gone through about 1,500 rounds of it so far. And at the farm, I haven't had one issue. And at the farm, I actually saved this round. There was one round that I had that actually hit the primer and did not go off. Just one out of 1,500 rounds so far. And it's $138 plus $16 shipping to your door for 115 grain ammo. And it is remanufactured, but it runs in the TSO, the Shadow 2. It runs in everything. And I haven't seen one issue except this one round so far. So I'm pretty impressed with it. And you can't beat the price. Hello?
Yeah, no, we're here. So I was just reading some comments. Harry was talking about the P320s getting a bad rap. The internet destroyed its chance of being a competitor for second place to Glock. Harry, you know, that's a really good point. And it was really poised, in my opinion, this is totally opinion, because I've been thinking about it. I'm getting ready to do a year-end review. My channel becomes a year old at the end of the month in November. And I'm trying to think about all the guns that have been on the channel. There have been 53 different guns on the channel this year. And,
wow.
And trying to think about some of my favorite guns for the year. the P320 was the earliest star of the channel. It really helped break the first barrier for my channel, so I have to give it a lot of credit there. And it really was poised to being one of the guns of the year, I think. I think for a lot of people, and unfortunately, you know, every manufacturer has problems with their guns. This is nothing new. I mean, Glock's had it, Smith & Wesson has had it. They all had it. And Sig just happened to have it right when they won the military contract. So it was a bit of a shot in the foot, so to speak. But I'm hoping that they can rebound because it's still a good gun. However, I think another gun has stolen the spotlight from everyone. And ironically, it's not the P10C. The P10C was a big hit this year, and I would probably call it the gun of the year, for me at least. But I think the Smith & Wesson Compact probably will steal the show this year. People have been blown away by that gun, and it's ironic because it is so hardly different from its full-size brethren, so to speak. But people have just raved and raved and raved about it. And the P10 has had a couple of issues. 17 has experienced some of those, whereas the M&P so far hasn't. Now it may, but it hasn't yet. So it is really funny. But the P320 really, unfortunately, has taken a step back out of the spotlight a little bit.
I'll give you a good example of why I think, for me, the P10, although it's a good gun, is not going to be gun of the year for me. You know, I took apart the P10. I did more of a detailed strip when I put the trigger in, you know, took everything out, the locking block, everything came out. And that damn thing, man, the roll pins they use suck. They've got springs everywhere, and I shouldn't say everywhere, like 2 places. The slide lock spring fell out and I had to put it back in. That was a pain in the ass to get back in. The spring that keeps the mag release in check, that thing came out. What a pain in my ass that was. However, even though I wasn't supposed to take it out, I took it out anyway, and I wound up trimming the spring, and now the mags fly out, which is what an improvement that is. So if you're looking for a quick fix without having to you know, kind of polish anything, just take like a link off of that spring and your magazines, I swear to God, they like fly out against the wall. That's how much better it is. But just taking apart that gun and then taking apart the Smith & Wesson M&P, this thing is built like a damn tank. Everything about it, in my opinion, just was a lot better in regards to, you know, just form. You know, the pins were easier to use. There weren't any of these ridiculous springs. Everything was very straightforward, and it was simple. But at the same time, it seemed like it was built better. Again, I'm sure there's people who are going to disagree with that. But for me, you know, just taking apart some of my handguns, like the Steyrs are built excellently. Glocks are built very well. The M&P, you know, I think there's some growth that still needs to be done with that P10. But, you know, that's just one guy's opinion.
Well, Smith made a change. They went to push pins rather than roll pins, and that was a huge deal. That makes it easier for guys like you and I to change things. Whereas Glock, you know, a monkey could take apart a Glock.
Exactly.
The real drive for people to get Glocks and fart around with them and modify them. Now you can do it with a Smith & Wesson pretty much in your own home, which is fantastic.
Yeah. We do have a question. Any issues with the Steyr M9A1? And I just got that new Steyr, and I took it to the farm, shot it there the first time. The very first mag I ran through it, the very second round, and it's a brand new gun, the very second round was a failure to feed. And I looked at the round. There wasn't anything wrong with it. Matter of fact, I loaded it back in the magazine, and it worked perfectly. Then after that, probably, I think myself, I put about 45 rounds through it. Other people shot it and probably put about 200 rounds through it, maybe 250, and it worked flawlessly. So no issues after that. And, you know, I really like the gun. Matter of fact, I've got a video coming out. I ran it suppressed, put a suppressor on it, and a bunch of people shot it, and it was pretty incredible. We shot it with subsonic and supersonic, and man, that thing, it shot like a champ. I mean, it was a lot of fun with the suppressor on it.
Not surprised.
So the only thing is with the suppressor, you know, of course, it was taller than the sights. So it was just kind of throwing it out there and you know, and I was going for like a 50-yard target. But it was a nice shooter, really was.
Hey,
So,
real quickly, Sean had a really quick question about reviews on the Smith & Wesson finish. Sean, I will say that that finish will it'll wear in a little bit faster than some other guns out there because of the type of finish that Armor Night finish that they put on it. So it'll get holster wear faster. That is true. And some people have rusting issues depending on where you live, just so you know.
Just really. Well, there's a lot of just getting back to the Steyr really quick. You know, I have in my M9, I have about 1,100 rounds through that thing, and that thing eats everything. No issues with any type of ammo. Doesn't matter what you put in it. You could put sand and rocks in it and still shoot. You know, I think the Steyr is the most underappreciated handgun on the market right now. I think it's about time people started buying them and started realizing that these guns are fantastic. You know, I've had the S9, the M9. Now I just got this bad boy, the L9. Can't wait to shoot this thing, man. So, you know, I can't say enough how much these guns are awesome. 4-pound trigger out of the box. You can't beat it. It's just a great gun.
Yeah. The only thing I did notice when I was shooting it, you know, I'm one of those guys that, you know, I've been so used to that tactical type reset. I did catch myself, you know, I couldn't feel it, of course, when you're shooting fast. And I was like, well, did I go out far enough? You know, but I was catching it every time. But it was just, you know, learning that trigger. But man, I'll tell you what, it's a great trigger.
The interesting thing about the Steyr is that it really is a double action only. So you don't need that reset because wherever it resets is the original place that trigger gets set anyway.
But
so I mean,
I wasn't used to it, you know, because I'm so you know, I don't want a long stroke of trigger. You know, I always catch that reset so I can ride that reset and get that short kick. And I'm so used to feeling it or hearing it, you know, it took me a minute to get used to it. But once I got used to it, yeah, you could fly with that trigger. I mean, I was just tapping the crap out of it.
The more time you spend with it, the faster you're going to shoot it because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially with that suppressor, I was just I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, Knuckles is saying his Steyr M9A1 had a short break-in period, several FTEs in the first 100. Maybe it was the Remington UMC weak ammo. Yeah, this one was kind of strange. It just didn't. I mean, I thought, well, it fed, but it didn't fire, but it just didn't feed in there. But like I said, that was the only issue, and that happened in the first mag. After that, nothing. And of course, before I carry it, I'm going to continue to run a ton of rounds through it.
Mine so far is wow, that's pretty good echo. Mine's only had one failure in its lifetime, and actually, Big Johnson, you were there for that one. I think that was when you were here in the city. That was you, and I think we could probably chalk that one up to ammo. It had a light primer strike. I otherwise have had absolutely no reliability issues whatsoever. It's been a fantastic gun, and it is definitely on the year-end list, so to speak, for sure.
Jesus has a question. What do you guys think about the 5.7? Is it overrated?
The round, the 5.7 round.
You know, the FN 5.7.
Yeah. I think it's freaking sweet. I mean, it basically is it's like a 22, but it's like a rifle round. I think it's really cool. You can pile a ton of them in a magazine and go to town. The only problem is it's really expensive.
Yeah. I had one when they first came out, the FDE one, and it was a lot of fun to shoot. And you're right, the ammo was expensive. But I was just like, it was kind of a novelty gun. And granted, yeah, you could put 20 rounds in it. And I mean, it's a wicked round. But I just, I was just like, eh. So, and I ended up getting way more than I paid for it. A guy offered me money for it, so I sold it. And I kind of don't miss it. It was just more of a fun gun, That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a lot of people will say? Well, the 22 Magnum and all this, they'll say, oh, it'll do the same. And, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I've never personally done a ballistics testing against it or any of that kind of stuff. But, it was fun to have and shoot.
A couple of the guys are saying, Scab and I think Mateo are saying that the 22 TCM is better. I have never shot a 22 TCM or a 5.7, but I have to say, if I could choose either one to go out and have a first experience with, it'd be that TCM. That thing looks freaking sweet. I would love to shoot one.
Yeah. A buddy of mine had that, was it Rock River or Rock Island Armory or something, where it was the 9mm 22 TCM conversion?
Yep.
He had that when it first came out, and it worked great with the 22 TCM, but when you put the 9mm conversion in it, it would have problems. It would failure to feed and all kinds of stuff, failure to extract. And so he sent it back, they fixed it. And then he had problems later on, and so he sent it back, and they actually gave him his money back, and so they were coming out with a version 2, but it would be a while. So,
man, it's 45 cents a round to shoot. Holy crap! That's expensive.
I'm not getting one.
Yeah, damn, I didn't know it was that much.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, Insight has the RI-22 TCM. Never have used the 9mm. So,
okay.
Yeah, because I know in Oklahoma at the casinos and stuff, they actually carry the 5.7. That's what they carry. So, you know, that's their pistol that they carry in the casinos. Scab
is saying he has the 22 TCM with the 9mm barrel and hasn't had any issues. It's good to know.
Cool. Yeah, this was the early. I mean, this was, shoot, when they first came out. I know they've been out for a long time now. And Yankee killed a hog with a 5.7.
Nice.
One shot. So.
Speaking of Yankee. Not this Yankee, the other Yankee.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Everybody should be going over to Bald and Curious's channel and checking out his video.
I agree with that.
Great video.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that FK, you know, Harry's asking about the FK Bruno. Talk about expensive to feed. Yeah, and if you could even find the ammo, it was crazy awesome. I mean, it just looks incredible. That's 7.5, but man, I looked at the price tag on that thing. I think it's $6,000 for the pistol, and plus you can't even find ammo for it over here. So I'm just like, I thought it was really cool, but won't be anything I'll have. Wicked says we don't speak of Yankee Marshall here.
We aren't. I'm speaking of Bald and Curious.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say Bald was a lot of fun at the farm too. We had a great time.
Do you see Yankee Force comment? Yes, I am not that asshole. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Yankee was there too. A lot of fun meeting him.
Nice.
But let's see here. So what do you think about all these pop-up situations that are happening, like, you know, the shooting in California, and hell, we had another one, a abduction deal that happened today in Texas. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but there was no shooting. Got him, and he surrendered, but it was just like, what the hell's going on? And then we did have a guy, they actually busted him. He was in a truck and had tons of ammo. He had a sawed-off shotgun. He had an AR, bunch of knives and stuff, and they stopped him before he got in, but apparently his wife was cheating with one of her coworkers, and he was busted, and he was going in to take care of business, as he said. So, yeah, Logan, I have a lot of hats. So,
as far as your question goes, I think all of this obviously is these are tragedies to one scale or another, but every time I hear about this, you know, I was at work when I heard about California, and my immediate reaction, this probably wasn't the most tasteful reaction, was, damn it, another shooting, you know, makes it harder for us gun guys. That probably wasn't what people around me were hoping to hear, but you know, it's going through our minds right now. I mean, right now we kind of have targets on our backs a little bit which is both frustrating and a little bit ironic. It's that much more frustration and that much more of a time where we need to pull together and fight the good fight on this stuff.
Yeah, and every time, and the Hell Inside even said it. He said it sounds like Big J on his way to Farmageddon, and that's true. I mean, I was driving down there with all that stuff, and if I was being pulled over or whatever, and of course I'd never let them search back, but it's just concerning. Like if a good guy's going to shoot or to do something like that, all you hear is, oh, he had a ton of weapons in his car or in his truck. That was my concern when I was driving down there. I was just like, man, what if I get some rookie cop that pulls me over? And you just never know.
Yeah.
So I was definitely concerned when you're driving that far with that much stuff.
In regards to the California thing, I think again the question is going to be, how did this guy get his guns? Apparently he had a record. He was, I guess, he assaulted some neighbors and stabbed a few of them a couple of years ago. So that's always going to be the big question. How is he getting handguns or guns at all, period? Yeah. And again, even it was his sister. She went on Twitter saying that she's making it her mission to stop gun violence and, take whatever. And my whole thing is that if you were that concerned about your brother and what he was doing and all this other stuff, because there's, I guess, a big history with him, then why didn't she call local law enforcement? If he was phoning her and saying all these odd, strange things, why not call law enforcement, have him do a welfare check, and if they feel that he's mentally unfit, then guess what? You get Baker acted for 72 hours, and then you have to prove you're not crazy. And apparently this dude was. So all these people, once again, riding the chariot on the high, saying we're going to do this, do that. It's all about accountability. Be self-accountable. Be accountable for your families, and leave everybody else alone. Because had she done something earlier, more than likely this could have been avoided. And again, I firmly believe this has nothing to do with guns. This is a mental health issue, and I have yet to be proven wrong on any of that.
Well, and a pharmaceutical issue, like we've talked about before.
Right.
So many people are on uppers and downers.
Yep.
They take something to wake up, take something to go to sleep, and mind-altering crap. A lot of people aren't in their right mind when all this shit's going down.
Yep.
So Jesus has got it along with this conversation. He was saying, I think the 2017 assault weapon ban will pass. That's an interesting point. I sure as hell hope not. Although ironically, I don't really have any sporting rifles. I call them sporting rifles. I don't have any here, but I really hope it doesn't. I hope we don't lose the freedom to be able to enjoy the firearms that we are constitutionally allowed to have and the freedom to have. So.
Yeah. And we do have a question from Graybeard. A question for all of us. What is your favorite carry 45?
All right, Shield 45 for me. That would be my favorite.
Anything that's 9mm.
Okay. My favorite, now I've carried 1911s, but my favorite carry 45 is the FNX 45. And I have the Shield 45, and I love it too for small concealed carry. But nothing like 16 rounds of 230 grains of hate. Let's see here. Oh, Curious Yellow Solar's on.
What's up, Curious?
Yeah.
Hey, the rage!
Hey.
Since I didn't buy a big shirt, have a cold one on me. Well, we will all split it. And as KS says, we will all send samples to everyone.
Heck yeah. By the way, mine are in the mail to everyone. I hope you guys are watching out for that. They might be a little bit flat at this point in time, but it's still good beer.
It just says beer.
It's just beer.
Yeah, just beer.
It's Schlitz. Hope you like it.
Yeah, and matter of fact, I did not take the FNX 45 to the farm, and Curious Yellow Solar wanted to shoot it, and he was excited when I got there that he wanted to shoot it, and I didn't bring it. So I will next time. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to shoot. I love that pistol. Great pistol. And I know Coda Boy has one too, and he loves his too. And Papa's Place was there too. It was great to meet him.
Nice.
He is the reloading guru. And the man can shoot a 50 BMG too. That was my very first time shooting. And my 3 are probably about a hand size, I guess. But hell, Papa was popping them in there really tight. He had a hell of a group with his. P14 Limited, huh? Kevin Roberts says his favorite 45 is his P14 Limited. What is that?
Yeah, Kevin, help us out. What's a P14 Limited?
Yeah, I might recognize it. We had a question earlier about Beretta 92. I think it's, their special edition, the one that's gold and it's been tricked. Oh, it's the who did that version? Wilson Combat. The Wilson Combat Beretta.
Yeah.
Have y'all played with one?
Nope.
No, I mean I've shot the M3 A1 or whatever it is, the tan one, but never a Wilson Combat. But Wilson Combat they've had an edition of the 92 for a long time.
Yeah, I've only shot that gold one, not the Wilson Combat one. I think it was isn't it like $1,200? It wasn't my pistol.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 maybe.
What is it?
Like $1,000 maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that I shot, and it was nice, but it's a Beretta. I mean, it's a 92 series.
Mm-hmm.
But Wilson Combat makes some very nice pistols.
They have a new Glock.
Let's see here.
Actually, the Wilson Combat Glock, believe it or not.
Yeah, and then Mateo, he has zero interest in 45 anymore. I know he's a 10 millimeter fan. I just like a 45. I mean, I just think they're a lot of fun to shoot.
230 grains of hardball, man.
Of hate. Flying ashtrays, baby.
I don't know why you say hate. It's just 230 grains of hardball.
It's just my little thing, man.
Love. It's 230 grains of love going down the range.
Oh, that too. Music Lover is thinking about the CZ P09. What do people think? Music Lover, I love the P09.
Had one, didn't like it.
Do you think that it's because, and I like it because it's a little bigger than the Phantom. Do you think it's maybe because does that one fit your hands better? And I know the ergonomics are better.
I think the ergonomics are better on the Phantom.
Yeah, that's what I said. I know the ergonomics are better on the Phantom, but
the P09 it was too straight, the grip.
Okay.
And the grip is long. It's a friggin' long grip, and it's just like a 1911, so it's completely straight.
Yeah.
And I just never felt comfortable with it. I mean, the P07, same grip, but it's shorter. It just feels better.
Yeah. But see, on the P09, hell, my whole hand fits on the P09 perfect.
Well, you got gorilla hands. That's why. For us normal evolved humans who have regular sized hands, we prefer, ergonomically great guns, which I believe this is. So, again, who the hell knows? I may shoot it and I hate it, but
yeah. Kevin Roberts said next time I go down there, I need to take a U-Haul to carry all my guns. No, I won't carry all my guns down there. I carried enough.
Hey, P09 versus whatever. I had a P09 as well. It was the first CZ I ever owned. I didn't care for it either, and I think it's the exact same problem I've run into with the Glock 17 and the Smith & Wesson full size. I prefer the P07, which I love. I think it's a fantastic firearm, and I think it all comes down to size of grip for me. And the P07 and the P09 have the same grip feel and grip angle, basically, but for whatever reason, it just sits a little bit different in my hand, as do those other guns. And for whatever reason, it makes a significant difference for how I feel about the gun as well as how I shoot it.
Yeah. Keenan is saying outside of the 1911, he loves his 97 or CZ97B. And I will actually have to agree with that. I did take the 97B to the farm, and I shot it, and a lot of other people shot it, and they loved it. So everybody who shot the 97B really liked it. So it's great pistol. And Mateo's saying he's planning on getting the Phantom to replace his P09 next year. And then Papa's Place says he was impressed with Big J's P01. It wasn't near as snappy as he thought it would be.
Hey, Scab is asking about the old Smith & Wesson 9C, which was kind of that subcompact-ish sort of gun.
I have one.
Yeah, I know. Versus the new 2.0 compact. Is the new one worth buying to replace the old one? You know, Scab, they're different guns. The 9C, I would consider that a subcompact gun. It's slightly bigger than maybe a Glock 26, something like that. It would be more like maybe an FS9, their subcompact gun. But I think the 2.0 is probably worth upgrading. It's a good gun, but you're getting into more of that Glock 19 size, which is bigger than the old 9C. Not by much, but it's bigger.
Yeah, and you know, on my 9C, I carry the X grip with the 17-round mag in it all the time. I mean, that's the way that I really like it. So you're getting the small slide, but with full capacity. You know, and I agree with G-Man. He's saying the P09 is the adult size.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we've got some. Rich says he loves the 9C also.
Yeah, the 9C is a great gun. It is absolutely a fantastic gun.
Sandpaper is going hog hunting this weekend, and he's taking the Tanfolio Witness Hunter 10mm.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can't go wrong with that for sure. You know, that's one thing at the farm. There wasn't any 10mm there. You know, the only 10mm I think that I've shot a lot, I guess, well, it was just a lot in one day, was the Glock. I don't even know what's the Glock number for the 10mm?
They've got a couple. That would be like a 20,
29.
Yeah, 40, and then there's a smaller one than the 20, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was the bigger one.
Well, the 40 is the biggest one, but that's the like a 34, 35, 41. Those are the competition size guns.
Okay,
all right,
no,
Mateo is saying 20 and 29. The 20 is the normal size, like a Glock 21. I mean, that's the normal size gun.
Okay, yeah, this was like a Glock 17 size, I guess.
That'd be the 20.
Yeah, that's the one that I shot, and I mean, it was fine. You know, I don't care for the grip angle, but I mean, it shot fine. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Kevin is saying the para ordnance is the P14, 15, shoots 45 caliber that we were asking about earlier.
Wicked, you're going down, brother.
What's Wicked saying now?
Push-up contests right now.
He's picking on the fact that I'm built like a tank.
Look at that. Guns a-blazing.
Tank that maybe is melting. That's about it.
Hey, I have a desk job and I'm old. Leave me alone.
Oh, man. Yeah, here we go. Sean's giving the Glock yawn. I agree, Sean.
Speaking of Glock, I just picked up a 17, man. Bought it used. I'm happy with it.
You know what? That's similar to a P09. You don't like it?
No, it's not. It's got more of a curve in the back. P09, it's flat.
You mean the Glock? You mean the Glock hump? That's not a curve. That's a hump.
I call that a curve, my friend.
Hey, now I'm gonna challenge something for a second, Sean. I'm gonna challenge your brother, and you were absolutely one of my favorites. Glockion, I totally get that. I totally do. However, I constantly think about the different guns that are out there, especially from a channel perspective and a review perspective, and what would be interesting to people and what would be interesting to me to feature on the channel. And I have to say, and I look around at a lot of other channels that are very successful or rising to success very quickly. I mean, Glock i226 has had some great success, and he's a neat guy, and some other channels as well. They spend a lot of time on Glocks. They really do. A lot of time. That's their primary focus. There's a reason why. Although there are a lot of other guns that are fantastic out there, and I'm a lover of all guns equally. I think they're all fantastic because they go bang and it's fun. But there's something about Glock that a lot of people really like. They really like. They're boring as crap. They're utilitarian. Whatever that word is, they're utilitarian,
you dummy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. There, it's the bourbon, but they're just there's not much to it, but they're easy to work on. You can find them everywhere, which is fantastic. And there's just something about a Glock that you can't deny. I mean, it's a little bit of a force to be reckoned with. I mean, it really is. Regardless of what anybody thinks, you can't deny it.
You know, the other thing about it too, that until you start doing more than just a field strip and you start breaking these guns down, you're going to realize why you're going to love these. I mean, it's just bottom line. They're simple. They're easy to pull apart. They're easy to put together. And I have yet to find a gun that does that as well. The closest one, which is maybe even easier, is the Steyr. But every other gun has like 42 different pins, 15 springs. Yeah. You know, it's got leprechauns coming out of it. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, with the Glock, 2 pins, 3 pins, done. You know, you can't beat it.
And Craig makes a good point. The ergos suck. They do. They absolutely suck. I mean, it's a brick. There is no doubt about it. But you pick them up out of a box and they go bang. They're basic. They're boring, but they go bang. So, you know, there's nothing exciting about them. They're not pretty, but
well, and it's, you know, like I've said before, it's like, you know, it's like the Lego. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like the Lego of guns. I mean, you can put anything on it to make it the way you want it, except changing the damn grip angle. Unless you go with the Timberwolf frame or, you know, the lower, what is it, that polymer 80 frame or something.
Right. And yes, Mateo, 2x4s are definitely more ergonomic. There's no doubt about it. Nobody would argue that. That is very true.
Yep. See, and I can agree with Papa, because I was going to say, we were right there at the same place. He's saying, being an old school guy, trying to get used to shooting a Glock sucks. Granted, I only have 400 rounds through his 19. It's very frustrating. And I agree with that, Papa. I definitely second that. And that's what I've said before. You know, if the millennials, you know, and I know a lot of younger guys, they grow up in the Glock era, you know, and that's what they're used to shooting. And because that's what they grow up.
Uh-oh. Hey, all right.
All right, let's get this thing started.
Something happened to Big Johnson. Not sure what the deal was. We may have lost a connection with him, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get him back. Hopefully he will dial back into his event. So we'll give him a moment or two to see if he can come back in. But do we have any questions out there we can?
I just want to say something. Scab is saying, listen to 1776 talk about the Steyrs like listening to Bald and Curious about high power. The only difference is Steyrs are actually much better than high powers. And don't be jealous. You just need to go out and buy one. Then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dude, I got to give you credit. There's no doubt about it. You turned me on to Steyrs, and I came from a Glock world very much, so Steyr was a very easy transition for me because the grip angle is a little bit wonky. But God, that thing just melts in your hand. It just absolutely does. And
okay, Logan's getting mad at me. He said, "What were you saying, Big J? I ain't no damn millennial." I was just meaning, like, if you're used to shooting 1911s, and you know that's kind of the style and the type of gun you might like, or the ergos that you go with. But if you kind of start on Glocks, you know, like when you go to a gun store, they're like, "Hey, I'm a new shooter. What should I buy?" You know, the retailer goes, a Glock. And that's what that person might buy for their first gun and get used to. And then they get deeply invested in it with a bunch of Glock magazines, holsters, etc. So, you know, I have friends who that's how they fell into Glocks. So no disrespect for people who like Glocks. Wasn't meaning anything. Like Harry's holsters. He's a Glock millennial. Hello?
I'm just thinking of something here. Hey, Harry, check it out, buddy. Fits really well, bud. That's coming soon.
Which one's in it?
The 2.0.
Compact?
Full size.
Or
well,
full size.
4 1/4. The full size is like 5 and whatever.
Cool.
But yeah, fits good.
Harry's asking, I don't know if you answered this already. Steyr, what's the most popular? I'd say M9A1. Would you?
Yeah, I would say the M9 is probably the most popular. C9 doesn't have a point. There's no point to the C9 at all, in my opinion. The S9 you can barely find. And why would you get that? I don't know. The L9 is more, I guess, geared for competitive shooting, but I don't care. I got one. So,
but I mean, also if he made the M9A1, someone who had the, you know, the subcompact, they could put it in there. It would just be a shorter barrel.
Yeah, I mean, you might have a little bit of wiggle in there, you know, but it would work. Yeah. You know, I got an L9 holster, and the M9 fits in there perfectly also. So,
yeah. Yeah, and is that a purple or is it a blue?
This one? This is blue.
Yeah. Blue, okay. Blue. Yeah, it's a cool looking color.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
All right, it's 5 minutes too, so
okay.
Let's wrap things up, boys.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. 1776, what do you have coming up on your channel?
Woo, boy. We'll start in 5 minutes from now. You're going to see a video on my thoughts about this and the before and after.
Oh, did we lose audio?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost audio, brother. No, it's out.
No talking.
Hey, see if you can fix it real quick. So I'll take over. Just the P320, and that's pretty much it right now that I've got on the horizon. So for me, as far as the adieus, guys, thank you very much for joining us. As always, there are a ton of awesome channels out there in the chats right now. Take some time and look over all the channels out there and join and subscribe to all these great guys. A lot of awesome dudes and great channels. So I can't stress that enough. So thank you guys all very much for joining us, and look forward to chatting with you guys again sometime in the future.
Yep, and I've got some videos coming up, some stuff from Harry's, some Hellfire ammo, some shoes, and some other stuff. So we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. So, but we appreciate everyone being on. Great turnout. Gosh, we've got 50 on here now. I know it's been a really, yeah, you're back.
Yay!
Been a really great turnout, and definitely appreciate the comments. You know, you subscribers make it all happen, and we definitely enjoy doing this very much.
Can I
go ahead, 17?
So I made a video of this, but I didn't do it with me installing it because I figured I would get about 5 billion nasty little comments about how shaky my hands are. So that's for all of you out there who keep doing that. Also, just I got a boatload of stuff to do now finally. So, you know, I'm excited, man. It's good, you know, and this trigger's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. 5 pounds. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, thanks everyone for being on the chat. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much. And remember, carry on. And we will see y'all next week. Whose channel? KS's?
It's mine.
Okay. We will see you on KS's channel next Wednesday, everyone.
I'm going to be doing curls this week because I keep getting made fun of my pencil arms.
I won't be.
All right. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great night. Thanks, everyone.
Later.
Take care.